Greetings, everyone. Habari gani? Today is the second day of Kwanzaa, and the principle for today is kujichagulia, which is self-determination. And so I chose today to kick off this free video series, our New Year's resolutions, um, in ways and why the New Year's resolutions do not work, a video training series on this day, because I believe that it's going to be a good start for leading up to my New Year's New View challenge that is coming up next week, January 2nd to the 8th. And I know that this is around the time, right, that we're all thinking about what are ways that we want to improve in terms of personal development. And we usually take the last few days of the year thinking about what we did or did not get accomplished in the year that's passed, and we want to get to a space where we're having more wins than losses, right? So as a certified high performance coach, I talk with my clients a lot about goals, about goal setting, about how we're going to get there, how they're going to get there, how I'm going to help them get there. But there's some pre-work, I think, that's important to be done. So this series is going to be about 6 videos. It's kind of the pre-work to the pre-work to the pre-work that we'll be doing next week during the challenge. So I'm glad that you're here, and I'm hoping that you're prepared to take notes today, because we are going to get right into it. If you're interested in learning more about the challenge, you will have an opportunity to click the link below this video to sign up and get registered so that you'll get notifications about where we're going to meet. All right, but I hope to see you in there, and let's get started. So when we think about New Year's resolutions, it's usually our annual trek that we take towards personal development. We are usually taking stock and maybe a little bit disappointed in our inability to reach certain milestones that we may have set for ourselves. So we usually take this time, the end of the year, to look ahead about what we want to get done and how we want to do better, right? And so we call those, as it's called, New Year's resolutions, right? So the thing is, though, due to research, I did some research and found out that really only about 16% of people follow through on whatever the resolution is, whatever the way is they said they wanted to improve their life. Not only 16% actually go through and are able to follow through completely. And that the majority of the people that actually get started really tend to drop off between week 1 and week 6. All right. And so that is not very good odds, right? And it's why we end up back at the end of the year lamenting about what we didn't get done, because somewhere along the line, from us making the resolution to maybe for some of us 6 weeks in, we just could make it happen. So this series really is going to explore 6 reasons why that happens. 6 reasons that are most prevalent that happened, and then some ways as well that you can begin to counter some of the effects of the inability for you to meet your goals. So the first is around a lack of clarity. What's your why? You gotta know first and foremost before you set out on thinking that the goal that you've set for yourself, or the goals that you've set for yourself, are achievable, is to know why you want to do them. There has to be an urgency. There has to be a necessity behind what it is you choose to do. What is that for you? What is motivating you to take action right now? Why is it important? What is it going to cost you something if you don't get those things accomplished? What is the reason? What is the why? And so as we're looking at that, I, think about, and I think the easiest thing for a lot of us to do is just make a list, right? So one way to kind of just filter through, because you have a lot of thoughts in your mind, right? One of the ways to filter through is always, I'm a pen and paper person. I know a lot of people use tablets and things like that to make notes, but I think there's something tangible and a deeper connection that you're able to make when you're writing things down. So I think about making a list of the opportunities as well as the losses that may occur for me if I do not take a particular action on something. What's the impact of me taking the action? What's the impact of me not taking the action towards moving forward to success? Because this list is really going to help you think about what the cost is of inactivity and how it's going to thwart you to making progress. So you may have 3 or 4 goals that you want to get accomplished in the next year. What are the opportunities if you are able to accomplish those goals? And what are the costs to you if you do not get them accomplished? And you then need to kind of weigh them, right? And look at each one in terms of what you need to believe about yourself to accomplish those particular goals. What are the things that you need to be ready to do? What are what's your mindset? Because a lot of this course is driven by how you're thinking about yourself and thinking about your abilities to do things. So what are you going to have to believe about your abilities in order to make this goal or goals have the necessity and motivation behind them to actually get them accomplished? All right, so I want you to think about that and take some notes as you are thinking through that. And that'll be kind of the first step, really, in identifying what may be holding you back from accomplishing these goals, if they have been goals that you've been trying to get accomplished over the years. All right. So that's our first installment. So check in here tomorrow. Hopefully you've gotten some great insight from this. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions. One of the great things about us doing this pre-work is that we'll actually be able to follow up with a lot of this in the challenge. So it's kind of setting you up for what's to come in the challenge. So please take the time that's necessary for you to think through this, and I will see you tomorrow.